All right, so this week I've been playing a lot of Fast Racing Neo and F-Zero. And these games were so similar, I was like, I want to make a video comparing these. So I grew up with F-Zero, GX and X, all of them. And then Fast Racing Neo, I guess, was the passing the torch game. It was sort of made, I guess, to basically replace F-Zero, because we haven't heard from F-Zero since GX. But let's kick things off. Let's start talking about Fast Racing Neo here. So this game first released on the Wii U, I think. May have been on the Wii, but I think it released on the Wii U as Fast Racing Neo. And then, of course, the Switch version, which we're playing now, which is called Fast Remix. Now, let's start off some of the things I like about this game. So, I like the boosting strips, the different color, the orange and blue. Kind of switches up the gameplay a little bit. Kind of cool. I don't mind that. I like that. Switch the blue, you get the little boost, and the boosting strips is kind of cool. You get a little bit of a longer boost. Let me think. What else? But I think my main problem really with the game, because I do have a couple little things I wish it would do, but I guess one of the things I really want to say is that the game feels kind of bland. You know what I mean? Just a bit. I feel like it just needs a bit more pizzazz. You know what I mean? I feel like the vehicles kind of look samey. They're a bit samey. You look at the first row of vehicles and they kind of don't really look all that much different from, you know what I'm saying? And also there's no vehicle customization. You can't change its color. You can't, in F-Zero you can create your own vehicle. I don't expect Fast Racing Neo to have something like that, but I can't even change the color? Really? So you can't do that. You can't change its, you can't adjust its handling or acceleration or anything like that. And then one more thing I really want to say about Fast Racing Neo is the tracks. Now, let's say some good things about the tracks. One, they look great. They look incredible. They're bright, vivid. The HD looks great, right? Some of the stage hazards are really cool. I'll show one here that I thought was really cool. You're like driving on this space station, I guess, this space theme level. There's a lot of that. We'll talk about that in a second. But you're driving on the space theme level, and then you'll just see asteroids just come down and they'll crash down onto the track, and it's pretty cool. Now, I think it was made to be more like a cinematic, something you just like, see like a set piece, I guess, because I didn't actually end up crashing into the asteroids, but they still look really cool though. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of all the good I have to say about Fast Racing. This is not a bad game. This is a good game. I would, if I had to put it on a tier list or whatever, I would give it a B. It's a fun racing game. It's cool, but I think it just needs a bit more. It just feels a bit empty, There's no characters, no vehicle customization, can't change its color. All the vehicles kind of look the same, and the tracks are all kind of the same, which is something I want to talk about next. While the tracks do look great, I think the main problem is that they kind of all end up looking the same, and it's the same with the vehicles. Like after the first row, everything kind of starts feeling the same, and there's just so many tracks too, and they all, all the same theme. You're in space, you're driving around on a space station, you're in space, or you're in some ice type of place. There's literally a track called Antarctica, and then Sahara Desert. So they kind of all have the same themes. And of course, you have your green areas, your forest, your jungles, your plains. So it just kind of all feels the same. And like I said, there's just so many tracks in the game, and when you only have like 3 or 4 themes, and like I don't know how many tracks the game has. I haven't unlocked them all yet, but I mean we've got like 25 tracks so far. I don't know, maybe even 30. I don't know. I haven't counted, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, they look great. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think there's enough theming. Another theme that the game really likes. You have your deserts, your ice places, your space stations, and then your industrial complexes. Yeah, it really likes just tracks with random pipes and obstructions just everywhere. But they still look nice though. So I'll say that. Overall, like I said, I would give Fast Racing Neo like a B on a tier list. It's a good game. I have fun with it. I think it could just use a few more things. Like if this game is going to replace F-Zero, because we haven't heard from F-Zero since. So if this game's going to be its replacement, I really wish, they probably won't end up doing anything like that, but it'd be cool. I really wish they'd throw some characters in there, have some cool little characters. Or if they don't feel like doing characters, making models, because you have to make models and do all this and that. If they don't feel like doing all that, man, just let me change the color of my vehicle or something. All the vehicles just really look kind of same and boring. But now, let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you F-Zero. Now, like I said before, I did grow up with this game. I didn't play it a whole lot because I was never into racing games. But recently, I've been playing it a lot. I've just been feeling like, you know what? I want to go fast. I want to go vroom vroom. And so I've been playing F-Zero. And pulled out the Switch, saw Fast Racing Neo, played it a little bit, and was like, I want to compare these games. So this game right here is the king of all racing games. I don't care. I don't play racing games, and I'm calling it. It's the king of all of them. You're going fast. There's stakes. Your vehicle could be destroyed. You got to restart. There's a whole bunch of other players. There's 30 other players on the game, on the track. But let's talk about the really juicy good stuff that I like about F-Zero. It isn't all about just vroom vroom go fast. You have the first thing I like, the characters. The game has characters. Every vehicle has a unique character with their own little biography about them too. Really cool. I like that type of stuff. I like the small things that make the game feel like a real world. You know what I mean? And then like the best part, every vehicle is so unique looking. Look at all these. I'll see if I can get the character list on here, but look at all these characters, and just look at how unique all their vehicles are. They each have their own little reasons for racing. Now, none of that stuff really matters, at the end of the day, but it's just cool little details that I like and that I kind of feel is lacking from Fast Racing Neo. Now, here's another good part, the tracks, probably the part that everybody cares about the most. What I like about F-Zero that all three games have had is cohesion. They have like the same kind of idea that you have in Fast Racing Neo, like a couple of themes, right? But then they use those themes in every cup, right? So you'll see the same type of track. You'll see Mute City, you'll see Port Town, you'll see Big Blue. You'll see all those throughout the cups, but they each different tracks. So you have something familiar, and it'll probably even be called the same thing, especially like in the old games, they would just call it Big Blue 2, White Land 2, so it was something familiar. They would even take the same soundtrack and remix it a little bit. It was cool. It was cool, and I like that familiarity, that cohesion with the tracks. You know what's going on, and that's what I kind of wish Fast Racing Neo would implement. They're kind of already there with some tracks, like I mentioned before with Sunhara Desert. They have a couple of them, but like there's just too many tracks all. But anyway, let's get back to F-Zero. Another thing I like about the game is the stakes. So Fast Racing Neo, it's a little more streamlined, I guess. You fall off the track, it puts you back on like Mario Kart. This game, no. You fall off that track, you restart. Your vehicle gets destroyed, you gotta restart. Now that might be a bit more annoying though, so I won't blame players for not liking that. But I also, this is personal preference too, the speed boost. I like the way the F-Zero does the boost. I kind of like the idea that Fast Racing Neo has going on with the boost pads. I kind of like that. I mean, the strips, not pads. The strips. It's okay. It's okay. But I genuinely like the pads better in F-Zero GX. You get it, you line it up just right. You get that nice snap of a boost, and it feels so responsive and satisfying every time you hit it just right, and that boost gets you a snap every time. I like that. It's cool. And then something that I think F-Zero does the best is the soundtrack. This is something that I definitely think Fast Racing Neo could use some work on. Its soundtrack is very bland, quite forgettable. Um, I couldn't even name one track on there. I mean, they're catchy, but they're not rememberable on Fast Racing Neo. You know, you'll bob your head a little bit when you're hearing something on there, but it's not something that you want to play in your car. You know what I mean? Unlike F-Zero, which is something that Nintendo has always been a master at with soundtracks. Now, of course, this game was made by Sega, and they're no slouch either. Anybody that knows Sega knows that they are a master in making beautiful soundtracks too, and that's exactly what this game has. Amazing soundtracks. I'm gonna play one of my favorites right now with the casino level. This track is just absolutely incredible. It's amazing, and it's rememberable too. Like when you hear this playing, you remember this track. You don't really remember anything from Fast Racing Neo, to be honest. So F-Zero just has so much personality, cool characters, great tracks. Everything about it just it fits so much better with Nintendo's, you know, goofy little characters and all the stuff that they got going on. But that's basically all I have to say about these two games. Like I said, I'm not hating on Fast Racing Neo. It's definitely, I mean, I have it. I bought it on both systems, Wii U and Switch, so I obviously like it. But I just feel like, and like I said, if this is going to replace F-Zero, I just feel like it's missing a few things. It could just, because you already had these things in your previous, you know, futuristic racing game, right? So why leave them out of your new one? Now I know that I think a whole nother company makes Fast Racing. I don't think Nintendo does anything but publish it. I don't even know that, you know. So I'll have to go back on the game and look. But I just don't. I don't think Nintendo has too much to do with Fast Racing. I don't think they're too hands-on with that game. They just kind of let developers do their own thing. But that's gonna be it for that. I definitely am a huge fan of F-Zero. Like I said, greatest racing game ever made, S tier game, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it. And this really GX in particular. I like the first one and F-Zero X, but I don't catch myself playing those as much as GX. It just refines everything that those games brought, and I kind of see why that guy. There's some interviews. The creator, I think, of F-Zero said something about there wasn't any new F-Zero games because they couldn't figure out how to make it better or something. I don't know. Maybe he was right. And maybe that's why Fast Racing Neo can't top GX, because it was just too perfect. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Are you guys fans of F-Zero? Do you like Fast Racing Neo? Let me know your thoughts. And that's going to be it for this one. All right. Peace.